Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of negativity where everything seems to go wrong? Imagine having access to a place where all your desires are fulfilled, where you feel whole and at peace. That place exists, and it's called the Vortex. Today, I'm going to reveal the most commonly used expressions by them so that everyone can deeply understand the teachings and apply them more easily in their daily lives. Plus, I'll show you how to connect with your true essence, aligning your emotions and attracting everything you've ever wanted. I'm Nay, and on this channel, we'll talk about the law of attraction and precious techniques going far beyond the Abraham Hicks audios. Don't miss this opportunity to transform your life. Follow the channel if you enjoy this kind of content. You know when you really want something? Well, there's a special place for those desires. It's not a place you can see or touch, but it's real. Let's call this place the Vortex. Think of the Vortex as an invisible magic box. Everything you dream of and want ends up in this box. It's like a storage space for your requests to the universe. Now, the box doesn't just hold on to your desires, it starts working on them. It's as if the universe is preparing the ground to make what you've asked for happen. Your thoughts and desires aren't just random ideas. In the Vortex, they take on a sort of energy form. You can't see it yet, but it's the first step towards becoming reality. We can compare it to baking a cake. First, you have the idea of the cake in your head. Then you gather the ingredients. The Vortex is like the bowl where you mix everything before it goes into the oven. So the next time you wish for something, remember, your request isn't lost somewhere. It's in the Vortex, getting ready to become real one day. Now, imagine that this box doesn't just hold your desires, but also creates maps for you to reach them. It's like a magic GPS for your dreams. The Vortex is a room full of good things. Inside, it has everything you've ever dreamed of, everything you've liked in life. And there's more. When you don't like something, the Vortex creates the opposite for you. For example, if you don't like rainy days, the Vortex is already working on sunny days for you. Funny, right? Even without realizing it, when you don't like something, you're asking for the opposite. And the Vortex understands that. Everything you ask for first appears in this magic box. If you don't get in the way, like doubting or staying negative, these things can come out of the box and become real in your life. So, the next time you want something, remember, the Vortex is already working on it, creating paths and possibilities. You just need to trust and let it happen. Think of the Vortex as an incredible amusement park. When you're there, you feel really good, over the moon. It's like being at a party where everything goes right. Abraham says that being in the Vortex is like being super excited and happy. Being out of the Vortex is when you're not feeling so great. It's just a way of talking about how you're feeling. Another way to say it is that you're connected or disconnected. But connected to what? To yourself? To your best version? That best version of you is what they call the inner being. It's like it's you, just a super evolved version. Everything you've ever dreamed of being, your inner being already is. For example, if you've always wanted to be rich, your inner being is already a millionaire. If you wanted to travel the world, your inner being or divine spark is already doing that. It's like you from the future, living all your dreams. That future you is already living inside the Vortex. For it, all your desires are already real. It's like it's living in a super cool version of your life, full of good things. You have a super cool you inside you. When you feel connected to that super cool you, you're in the Vortex. It's like tuning a radio to the best station. Being aligned or in tune is the same as being connected. It's when you feel happy, strong, and free. You feel good about everything. It's interesting how we start to notice this in people. You look and think, wow, so-and-so is really connected today. Or, oh, I'm a little disconnected right now. In day-to-day life, we keep going in and out of this connection. It's normal. When you have a good thought or get good news, you enter the Vortex. At that moment, everything seems easier. You have great ideas, you get creative, and you solve problems easily. It's like when you're feeling down and you put on some upbeat music. At first you're still a little down, but then you start dancing and suddenly you're all excited. That's you entering the vortex. And the coolest thing is that when you're in this good groove, ideas start popping up out of nowhere. You might come up with an amazing idea for a new product or think of a way to solve that annoying problem at work. It's like your brain becomes super powerful. 2 important things, Abraham says. Alignment first, it's the most important. And then get in the vortex first, and then do anything else. You know when we try to solve a problem while we're all worked up? Yeah, it doesn't work out so well, does it? The folks who know about this say we should do the opposite. First, chill out, then solve things. It's like we have to get into the vortex before doing anything. If we don't do that, it gets a lot harder. Have you ever spent the whole day racking your brain over a problem and not solving anything? Then you sleep, wake up the next day and, oh, I just needed to do this. That's because sleeping helped you get into the vortex. A neuropsychologist named Rick Hanson says something similar. He says our brain has 2 modes, green light and red light. When it's on green light, we're happy, feeling strong, free, generous, just like when we're in the vortex. And the best part, when the brain is on green light, we get sharper. We have better ideas, solve problems more easily, and remember things better. We even get nicer to other people. It's like when we're in this green light mode or in the vortex, we become the best version of ourselves. Everything gets easier, and we can be who we really are. So the next time you have a problem to solve, try chilling out first, getting in a good mood. Then go ahead and take action. You know how we say someone is a good or bad person? Well, it's not exactly like that. It's more about how the person's brain is working at that moment. Some people spend most of their time in red light mode. It's like they're always expecting something bad to happen. In this mode, we become more closed off, more worried, and even our body gets a bit tense. But when we're connected with our better self, it's like we're plugged into a good energy source. Our body works better, we get healthier. It's like we're letting the good energy of life flow through us. It's interesting to think about this when we're making decisions or taking advice. For example, you have a friend who always has great ideas. But if one day he's tired, in a bad mood, it might not be the best time to ask for his opinion. He's disconnected that day. Just being tired is already a sign that we're a bit disconnected. But look, we're never completely disconnected. It's like we always have a little wire connected to the good energy, even on bad days. The more connected we are, the easier it is to have good ideas and make good choices. It's like we have an internal GPS guiding us to good things. When we're disconnected, it's harder to hear this GPS. So before making important decisions or asking for advice, it's worth checking if you, and the person giving you advice, are in green light mode. That way the chances of having good ideas and making good choices are much higher. Now think of that friend who usually gives great advice. If he's having a bad day, it's better to wait for another time to ask for help. It's like his radar is out of tune that day. And this goes for you too. Pay attention to how you're feeling when you have an idea or need to decide something. If you're rushing, worried, or doing things just to please others, maybe it's not the best time to make important decisions. But here's the thing. You can be super busy and still be connected. It's when you're in that good rhythm, happy, full of energy and good ideas. In those moments, you can trust the ideas that come up. Now, if you've spent the whole day worrying and suddenly have a business idea, it's better to take it slow. Ideas born out of worry usually aren't the best. The trick is, if you're worried, try to calm down first. Listen to some music, dance, take a walk, dip your feet in the water. When you start feeling better, remembering good things that have happened, then go for it. The ideas that come at that moment are the ones worth following. So, before acting on any idea, ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? If the answer is good and excited, go ahead. If not, it's better to wait a bit until you feel better. Think of that perfect wave in surfing. That's more or less how Abraham talks about getting into the flow. It's like a wave of good energy. They say there's a source of good energy in your vortex. Remember the magic box? This source is like your more evolved self. It knows everything you want and is always trying to guide you on the right path. It's like this source is shouting, "Hey, come this way. There's good stuff waiting for you." And the cool thing is, there isn't just one right path, there are many. But here's the problem. Sometimes we're so busy, so worried about 1,000 things that we don't even hear this call. We're like, "Oh, I can't stop now. I have a million things to do. Everything's going wrong." When we act like this, it's like we're turning off the radio that's playing the instructions from the source. Abraham calls this resisting. It's like we're rowing against the tide, you know? They say the secret is to relax and let the current carry you. It's about stopping the fight and going with the flow. It seems hard when we're full of things to do, right? But they guarantee that if we can relax and listen to this voice from the source, everything gets easier. So the next time you catch yourself super stressed, try to take a break. Take a deep breath and try to listen to that good call. Who knows, maybe you'll catch a good wave. You have a super special internal GPS. When you're relaxed, this GPS works better. It gives you cool ideas, makes you look in the right place at the right time. Sometimes you feel like doing something, like grabbing a coffee, and you end up meeting someone who helps you with a problem. That's going with the flow. It's like there's a higher force looking out for you, planning everything down to the smallest detail. When you remember this and stay calm, things get easier and more fun. This force is always showing you cool paths, but sometimes we resist. We do everything the hard way. We try too hard. We do things we don't want to. It's like swimming against the current. Now, about negative emotions. They're like an alarm from your body. When you're feeling something bad, it's your body saying, "Hey, pay attention to what you're thinking." If you keep talking about the problem, complaining, focusing only on what's wrong, you make the problem bigger. It doesn't help at all. So, when you feel a bad emotion, it's time to change focus. Look out the window, take a deep breath, listen to some music, change the subject. Emotions are like a game of hot and cold. They tell you if you're on the right track or if you need to change direction. They're your best help to know where to place your attention. Always remember, relax, trust your internal GPS, and try to go with the flow. Things get much easier that way. If you're enjoying this content, there's much more to come. Subscribe for more. Think of your emotions as a thermometer. When you think negative things like, "This is so hard," or "Nobody helps me," it's like you're lowering the temperature on that thermometer. When the temperature drops, it's a sign that you're out of tune. It's like you've turned off the radio that receives the good ideas from the universe. Abraham calls this being out of receptive mode. At these times, you might still have ideas, but they probably won't help much. It's like you're tuned into a TV channel full of static. You can't really see what's playing. The trick is to try to be more in the flow and less resistant. Of course, we can't stay 100% positive all the time. That's normal. Sometimes we look at something bad and it changes our mood. The secret is not to stay stuck in it. When you notice you're thinking negatively, try to quickly change focus to something that makes you feel better. That's our main job. And look, there's nothing wrong with feeling negative things from time to time. In fact, it even helps us know what we really want. The problem is when we get stuck only in the negative and forget to tune into the good things we want. It's like the negative is a trampoline for us to jump to the positive. Use it to know what you want, but don't keep jumping on the trampoline all the time, you know? Jump forward to the good side. About feeling bad emotions, it's normal to feel them sometimes. There's no rush to feel better, but it's good to try. While you're feeling bad, you're creating good things in your vortex. Remember the magic box? Now, about Abraham. Many people ask who they are. It's not just one person, but a group of consciousnesses without a physical body. It's like a team of invisible specialists. Some of them have lived in bodies like us, others haven't. Who speaks through Esther, the person who transmits their messages, changes. Sometimes they say they're Esther's inner being. Other times they say they're the inner being of everyone. They explain that each of us has two parts. One part in our body, here and now. Two, a bigger part that stays outside the body in the invisible world. This part outside the body exists forever, with or without a physical body. And the coolest part, this invisible part of each of us can also send messages through Esther. It's like we have a super me in the invisible world who sometimes sends messages to us through Abraham. Cool, right? Leave a comment about what you think of the content and what else you'd like to know. I'd love to help you. I'll have an audio here in the future that says, "We, your inner beings, will speak through Esther, even though we already speak to you daily, but we'll speak through Esther's voice because it might be easier for you to hear us this time." Esther is a special translator. She learned to turn ideas from the invisible world into words we can understand. Over time, she became great at it. It's like she's a phone that receives calls from different places in the invisible world. That's why sometimes the way of speaking changes. Some days it's more playful, some days it's more serious, some days it even scolds us. It's like an invisible team of teachers, each with their own style, but all teaching the same subject. So when we say Abraham, it's actually several different invisible people, and all of them believe in the same things, the law of attraction. Is there anything I didn't cover in this video? Or that you'd like me to clarify better for you? Leave a comment with your thoughts and follow the channel for more. Remember, you have the power to create the life you desire. Thanks for your company. See you in the next video. Take care and see you soon.